Deep within the shadowed chambers of an ancient tomb, a relic lies waiting, a stone tablet etched with symbols that defy modern interpretation. These markings, carved by hands long turned to dust, whisper of a forgotten civilization and its secret calendar, a system of timekeeping so advanced it rivals our own. But what does it mean, and why, centuries later, do we still struggle to decode its message? These cryptic artifacts, scattered across the globe, hold the keys to understanding how ancient civilizations perceived time, the cosmos, and their place within it. Today, we'll embark on a journey to unravel these mysteries, exploring enigmatic relics, forgotten calendars, and the profound ways they've shaped and continue to shape our understanding of humanity's hidden history. What secrets do these artifacts hold? How did ancient societies track time in ways that still baffle us? And what can they teach us about the ingenuity of our ancestors? Join me as we piece together the clues left behind by a bygone era, revealing a story that might just change the way you see the past. Among the waves of the Aegean Sea, over a century ago, divers stumbled upon a corroded lump of bronze and wood in the wreckage of an ancient ship. What they found would soon be recognized as one of the most astonishing artifacts of the ancient world, the Antikythera Mechanism. Often hailed as the world's first analog computer, this device, dating back over 2,000 years, is a testament to the ingenuity of ancient Greek engineers. Its intricate system of more than 30 bronze gears, precisely calibrated to mimic the movements of the sun, moon, and planets, was far beyond what historians once believed possible for its time. The Antikythera Mechanism wasn't just a tool, it was a masterpiece of celestial prediction. By turning a hand crank, users could calculate the positions of celestial bodies, predict eclipses, and even track the cycles of the ancient Olympic Games. This remarkable device reveals a level of scientific and mathematical sophistication that challenges our modern assumptions about technological progress in antiquity. How did the ancient Greeks achieve such precision without the tools we take for granted today? And what does this tell us about their understanding of time and the cosmos? Theories about its purpose abound. Some suggest it was used by scholars to study astronomy, while others believe it served as a teaching tool or even a navigational aid for sailors. What's clear is that the Antikythera Mechanism was deeply tied to the concept of timekeeping. It didn't just track days or months, it connected the rhythms of the heavens to the lives of those who used it, blending science, philosophy, and spirituality into a single device. This extraordinary artifact also hints at a broader truth. Ancient civilizations were far more advanced than we often give them credit for. The Antikythera Mechanism wasn't an isolated marvel. It was part of a tradition of knowledge that spanned centuries, a tradition that included the creation of complex calendars and timekeeping systems. As we marvel at its complexity, we're left to wonder, what other secrets of ancient timekeeping are waiting to be uncovered? And speaking of secrets, our next artifact takes us even deeper into the mysteries of the past, a relic that reveals how ancient societies measured time in ways that still leave us in awe. But more on that in a moment. Carved into the arid plains of southern Peru, the Nazca Lines stretch across the desert like a vast, open-air canvas. These enormous geoglyphs, some spanning hundreds of feet, depict everything from geometric shapes to intricate animal forms, a spider, a hummingbird, even a whale. But while their sheer size and artistry are breathtaking, what truly captivates researchers is their connection to the heavens. Many of these lines align with celestial events, such as the solstices and equinoxes, suggesting they were more than just art. They were part of a sophisticated system for tracking time. Imagine standing on the desert floor, looking up as the sun aligns perfectly with one of these lines during a solstice. For the Nazca people, this wasn't just a moment of beauty, it was a signal, a marker in their calendar. These alignments indicate a deep understanding of astronomy, one that allowed the Nazca to predict seasonal changes, plan agricultural activities, and perhaps even conduct rituals tied to the cycles of the cosmos. The precision of these alignments reveals a culture that saw time not as a linear concept, but as a rhythm, a dance between the Earth and the stars. But what was the purpose of these massive designs? Theories abound. Some researchers believe the Nazca Lines served as a giant calendar, helping farmers determine the best times to plant and harvest crops. Others suggest they were sacred pathways used in religious ceremonies, guiding participants toward spiritual insights or celestial events. There's even a theory that the lines acted as a kind of observatory, allowing priests or astronomers to track the movements of the stars and planets with remarkable accuracy. What's clear is that the Nazca people possessed a profound connection to the sky. Their ability to map celestial movements onto the Earth's surface speaks to a level of astronomical knowledge that rivals even the Antikythera Mechanism. Yet, unlike the Greeks, who built intricate machines, the Nazca achieved their goals using nothing more than stones, ropes, and an intimate understanding of their environment. This raises an intriguing question. How did they accomplish such precision without the tools we take for granted today? The Nazca Lines remind us that ancient cultures often saw time and space as interconnected, woven together by the movements of celestial bodies. This perspective wasn't unique to the Nazca. Across the globe, from the pyramids of Egypt to the stone circles of Britain, ancient peoples looked to the stars to mark the passage of time, to guide their lives, and to connect with something greater than themselves. As we explore these ancient systems, we begin to see a pattern, a shared human desire to understand our place in the universe. And as we turn our gaze from the deserts of Peru to the jungles of Mesoamerica, another remarkable example of ancient timekeeping awaits, a system so precise it continues to influence how we think about calendars today. But that's a story for the next chapter of our journey. Deep within the dense jungles of Mesoamerica, the ancient Maya developed a timekeeping system so precise, so intricate, that it continues to captivate scholars to this day. The Mayan Long Count Calendar, a cornerstone of their civilization, wasn't just a tool for tracking days, it was a way of understanding the universe itself. Unlike the calendars we use today, which are linear, the long count was cyclical, reflecting the Maya's belief that time moved in repeating patterns, much like the cycles of the moon or the seasons. This calendar allowed them to predict celestial events with astonishing accuracy, from eclipses to the movements of Venus, showcasing their profound connection to the cosmos. At the heart of the long count calendar was a complex system of nested cycles, each representing different lengths of time. The largest of these, the Bygone, spanned over 144,000 days, roughly 400 years. This system wasn't just about counting days, it was about mapping the rhythms of the universe. For the Maya, time was sacred, and the calendar served as a bridge between the earthly and the divine. It guided their rituals, agricultural practices, and even their architectural designs, with temples often aligned to celestial events like solstices or equinoxes. One of the most famous and misunderstood aspects of the long count calendar is the so-called 2012 prophecy. When the 13th Bygone cycle ended in December of that year, many mistakenly believed it signaled the end of the world. In reality, the Maya saw it as a time of renewal, a moment when one great cycle ended and another began. This misinterpretation highlights how modern audiences often project their own fears onto ancient cultures, missing the deeper wisdom embedded in their systems of thought. For the Maya, the end of a cycle wasn't a catastrophe, it was an opportunity for rebirth, a reminder that time is both cyclical and eternal. What sets the Mayan calendar apart is the sheer sophistication of its mathematics. The Maya were among the first to develop the concept of zero, a revolutionary idea that allowed them to perform complex calculations. Their astronomers could predict eclipses with remarkable precision, and their understanding of planetary movements was centuries ahead of their time. This level of knowledge wasn't just academic, it was woven into the fabric of their society, shaping everything from religion to governance. When we compare the Mayan Long Count Calendar to other ancient systems, like the Antikythera Mechanism or the Nazca Lines, a fascinating pattern emerges. Across continents and cultures, ancient peoples shared a common goal: to understand time and its connection to the cosmos. Whether through gears, geoglyphs, or mathematical cycles, they each developed unique ways to measure and interpret the passage of time. This global pursuit of knowledge suggests a universal human desire to find meaning in the rhythms of the universe, a quest that continues to inspire us today. As we move forward in our exploration, we'll uncover another ancient system that challenges our understanding of timekeeping, one that reveals how interconnected these ancient civilizations truly were. But for now, let's pause and reflect on the Maya, their genius, their vision, and the timeless lessons their calendar still holds for us. High on the walls of the Temple of Hathor in Dendera, Egypt, lies a masterpiece of ancient astronomy, the Dendera Zodiac. This intricate bas-relief, carved over 2,000 years ago, is one of the most enigmatic artifacts from the ancient world. It depicts a circular map of the heavens, filled with constellations, planets, and celestial symbols, each meticulously arranged to reflect the night sky as the Egyptians understood it. But the Dendera Zodiac is more than just a map, it's a window into how the ancient Egyptians merged science, spirituality, and timekeeping into a single, unified system. At first glance, the Dendera Zodiac appears to be a straightforward representation of the stars. The familiar figures of Taurus, Leo, and other zodiac constellations are clearly visible, suggesting that the Egyptians had a deep understanding of celestial patterns. But look closer, and you'll notice something extraordinary. The zodiac isn't just a static image, it's a dynamic tool, designed to track the movement of the sun, moon, and planets across the sky. By studying the positions of these celestial bodies, priests and astronomers could predict seasonal changes, plan religious festivals, and even align their temples with specific astronomical events. What makes the Dendera Zodiac particularly fascinating is its dual nature. On one hand, it served a practical purpose, helping the Egyptians measure time and plan their agricultural and ceremonial activities. On the other, it carried profound spiritual significance. The Egyptians believed that the heavens were a reflection of the divine, and by understanding the movements of the stars, they could tap into the rhythms of the gods themselves. This blending of science and spirituality is a hallmark of ancient Egyptian culture, and the Dendera Zodiac stands as a testament to their ability to see the sacred in the stars. The origins of the Dendera Zodiac remain shrouded in mystery. Some scholars believe it was created during the Ptolemaic period, influenced by Greek astronomy, while others argue it reflects a much older, uniquely Egyptian tradition. There's even debate over whether it represents a literal map of the heavens or a symbolic calendar, meant to encode sacred knowledge rather than precise astronomical data. What's clear, though, is that the Dendera Zodiac was a product of a culture that saw no separation between the physical and the spiritual, the practical and the profound. This intertwining of science and spirituality wasn't unique to the Egyptians. Across the ancient world, from the Maya to the Greeks, we see a recurring theme. Calendars and timekeeping systems weren't just tools, they were expressions of a deeper understanding of the universe. They remind us that for our ancestors, time wasn't just a series of days and years. It was a sacred rhythm, a way to connect with the cosmos and the divine. As we continue our journey, we'll explore how this connection between time, science, and spirituality shaped another ancient civilization, one whose calendar system continues to influence our world today. But for now, let's take a moment to marvel at the Dendera Zodiac, a symbol of humanity's enduring quest to understand the heavens and our place within them. Nestled in the ruins of the Minoan palace of Phaistos on the island of Crete lies one of archaeology's most enduring puzzles, the Phaistos Disc. Discovered in 1908, this circular clay artifact, roughly the size of a dinner plate, is covered on both sides with a spiral of stamped symbols, 45 distinct characters arranged in groups, spiraling inward like a coiled serpent. Despite over a century of study, these symbols remain undeciphered, their meaning lost to time. What was this disc? A calendar, a religious artifact, or perhaps something even more mysterious? The Phaistos Disc invites us into a world of questions, where every theory leads to more intrigue. The symbols themselves are unlike anything else found in Minoan culture. They're not hieroglyphs, nor do they resemble linear A or linear B, the two known writing systems of ancient Crete. Instead, they appear to be a unique script, one that may have been used for a specific purpose, perhaps to record sacred rituals, encode astronomical data, or even serve as a ceremonial calendar. Some researchers suggest the disc's symbols represent a kind of proto-writing, a bridge between early pictograms and more developed scripts. Others believe it could be a mnemonic device, designed to help its users remember complex rituals or seasonal events. Whatever its purpose, the Phaistos Disc stands as a testament to the creativity and ingenuity of the Minoan people. But where did this enigmatic object come from? The most widely accepted theory places its origins firmly in Minoan Crete, dating it to around 1700 BCE. The Minoans were a seafaring people, known for their advanced architecture, vibrant art, and complex societal structures. Yet, the Phaistos Disc doesn't fit neatly into what we know about their culture. This has led to more speculative ideas, including the possibility that the disc was an import brought to Crete from another civilization. Some have even suggested, though with little evidence, that its origins might lie beyond our world, a product of extraterrestrial influence. While such theories capture the imagination, they also highlight how little we truly understand about this artifact. Decoding the Phaistos Disc has proven to be a monumental challenge. Unlike the Rosetta Stone, which provided a key to understanding Egyptian hieroglyphs, the disc offers no such clues. Without a bilingual text or a clear cultural context, researchers are left to piece together its meaning through patterns and educated guesses. Some have noted that the symbols repeat in specific sequences, suggesting they might represent a calendar or a ritual chant. Others argue that the disc's spiral arrangement mirrors the cycles of time, linking it to celestial events like solstices or lunar phases. Yet, without a definitive breakthrough, the disc remains a tantalizing mystery, a reminder of how much we still have to learn about the ancient world. What makes the Phaistos Disc so compelling is not just its undeciphered symbols but what it represents: the human desire to communicate, to record, and to make sense of the world. Whether it was used to track time, honor the gods, or preserve sacred knowledge, the disc reflects a universal impulse, one that connects us to the Minoans across the millennia. As we stand on the edge of understanding, we're reminded that the past is not always a straightforward story, but a puzzle waiting to be solved. And speaking of puzzles, our next journey takes us into the realm of ancient symbols and their role in encoding time, a fascinating exploration of how cultures across the globe used imagery to capture the rhythms of the cosmos. But more on that soon. Among the most fascinating aspects of ancient calendars is the way they used symbols, not just as a form of writing, but as a language to decode the mysteries of time itself. For these cultures, symbols weren't mere representations. They were portals into a deeper understanding of the cosmos, seasons, and the rhythms of life. Take, for instance, the Egyptian hieroglyphs. These intricate carvings, found on temple walls and scrolls, didn't just record historical events, they encoded celestial knowledge. The Egyptians used symbols like the sun disk, the ankh, and the scarab beetle to represent the cycles of the sun, the concept of eternal life, and the renewal of time. Each symbol was a piece of a larger puzzle, a way to make sense of the universe's grand design. In Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, cuneiform script served a similar purpose. Etched into clay tablets, these wedge-shaped symbols recorded everything from trade transactions to astronomical observations. But cuneiform was more than an administrative tool. It was a way to track the movements of the stars and planets. Some tablets even contain detailed instructions for predicting lunar eclipses, proving that the Mesopotamians saw their writing system as a bridge between the earthly and the divine. The symbols themselves often carried dual meanings, blending practicality with spirituality. For example, the symbol for star could also signify heaven, reflecting the Mesopotamian belief that the heavens were a realm of gods and cosmic order. Meanwhile, in ancient China, oracle bones tell a different but equally compelling story. These bones, often from oxen or turtles, were inscribed with symbols used in divination rituals. By interpreting the cracks that formed when the bones were heated, priests could predict everything from harvest yields to the outcomes of battles. But the symbols on these bones also served as a calendar, marking the passage of time and the changing of seasons. The Chinese saw time as a cyclical force, and their symbols reflected this belief, weaving together the threads of nature, politics, and spirituality into a single, cohesive system. What unites these examples is the idea that symbols were more than just marks on a page. They were tools for understanding the world. They allowed ancient cultures to track time, predict celestial events, and connect with the divine. But while many of these symbols have been decoded, others remain shrouded in mystery. Some ancient scripts, like those on the Phaistos Disc, resist interpretation, leaving us to wonder what secrets they might hold. These enigmatic symbols remind us that the past is not always a book we can read, it's a puzzle, waiting for the right key to unlock its meaning. As we move forward, we'll explore another artifact that challenges our understanding of ancient timekeeping, a relic that may hold the key to unraveling one of history's greatest mysteries. But for now, let's take a moment to appreciate the power of symbols, those timeless tools that bridge the gap between the known and the unknown, the earthly and the celestial. Hidden away in the vaults of Yale University's Voynich Rare Book and Manuscript Library lies one of the most perplexing artifacts in human history, the Voynich Manuscript. This medieval document, dating back to the early 15th century, is a puzzle wrapped in mystery. Its pages are filled with strange, undecipherable text written in an unknown script, accompanied by bizarre illustrations of plants, celestial charts, and what appear to be figures engaged in enigmatic rituals. For centuries, cryptographers, linguists, and historians have tried, and failed, to crack its code. What does it say, who wrote it, and why does it continue to defy interpretation? The manuscript's illustrations are as baffling as its text. Some pages depict fantastical plants that don't resemble any known species, while others show intricate diagrams of the stars and planets. There are even sections filled with what look like bathing women, connected by a network of pipes and vessels that some believe represent a form of alchemy or early medical knowledge. These images have led to a wide range of theories about the manuscript's purpose. Some argue it's an herbal guide, detailing the properties of unknown plants. Others suggest it's an encoded calendar, designed to track celestial events or agricultural cycles. There's even a theory that it's an elaborate hoax, created to deceive or confuse. Yet, despite these varied interpretations, no one has been able to prove definitively what the Voynich Manuscript is about. One of the most tantalizing aspects of the manuscript is its potential connection to timekeeping. Some researchers have noted that its celestial diagrams align with known astronomical patterns, suggesting it might have been used to predict solstices, equinoxes, or other significant events. If true, this would place the Voynich Manuscript in the same category as artifacts like the Antikythera Mechanism or the Dendera Zodiac tools designed to harness the rhythms of the cosmos. But without a key to its cryptic text, this remains speculative. The manuscript's origins are equally mysterious. Carbon dating places its creation between 1400 and 1438, but its author and place of origin are still unknown. Was it the work of a lone genius, a secretive order, or perhaps even a forgery from a later era? What makes the Voynich Manuscript so captivating is not just its undeciphered text, but what it represents: the enduring human desire to encode knowledge, to preserve it in ways that only the initiated can understand. It's a reminder that, throughout history, people have sought to bridge the gap between the known and the unknown, the earthly and the celestial. And while we may never fully unlock its secrets, the manuscript continues to inspire curiosity, debate, and wonder. As we turn our attention from this enigmatic text, we'll explore another way ancient cultures sought to understand time, through their connection to the land. Agriculture and timekeeping were deeply intertwined, shaping the rhythms of daily life and the very foundations of civilization. But more on that in a moment. From the fertile banks of the Nile to the rice paddies of ancient China, agriculture was the lifeblood of early civilizations. But without the technology we rely on today, how did these societies know when to plant their crops or when to harvest? The answer lies in their calendars, ingenious systems designed not just to mark the passage of time, but to align with the rhythms of nature. For many ancient cultures, timekeeping wasn't an abstract concept, it was a practical tool, essential for survival. Take the Egyptians, for example. Their calendar revolved around the annual flooding of the Nile, an event so predictable it became the cornerstone of their agricultural year. The Nile's floodwaters brought rich, fertile silt to the fields, creating the perfect conditions for planting. To track this cycle, the Egyptians developed a calendar divided into 3 seasons: Akhit, the time of flooding; Perit, the growing season; and Shemu, the harvest. Each season lasted 4 months, with each month consisting of 30 days. This system wasn't just a way to count days, It was a guide for farmers, helping them know exactly when to prepare their fields, sow their seeds, and gather their crops. The Nile calendar wasn't just about timekeeping, it was about ensuring the prosperity of an entire civilization. Across the globe, the ancient Chinese developed their own agricultural calendar, one deeply tied to the cycles of the moon. The Chinese lunar calendar, which dates back thousands of years, divided the year into 24 solar terms, each marking a specific phase in the agricultural cycle. Terms like spring begins and grain in ear signaled when to plant, irrigate, or harvest. This system was so precise that it could predict the arrival of frost or the best time to plant rice, ensuring farmers maximize their yields. But the lunar calendar wasn't just practical, it was also deeply symbolic. Each solar term was associated with specific rituals and festivals, blending the practical needs of farming with the spiritual rhythms of life. These agricultural calendars reveal something profound about ancient societies. They saw time not as a linear progression, but as a series of cycles, each tied to the natural world. For them, the changing of seasons wasn't just a matter of weather. It was a sacred rhythm, a reminder of the interconnectedness of life. This perspective shaped everything from their daily routines to their spiritual practices, creating a harmony between humanity and nature that's often lost in our modern world. But while these calendars were rooted in practicality, they also carried deeper meanings. The Egyptians believed the flooding of the Nile was a gift from the gods, a sign of divine favor. The Chinese saw the cycles of the moon as a reflection of cosmic balance, a reminder of the unity between heaven and earth. In both cases, the calendar wasn't just a tool, it was a bridge between the earthly and the divine, a way to connect the rhythms of daily life with the mysteries of the universe. As we explore these ancient systems, we begin to see a pattern. Calendars weren't just about tracking time, they were about understanding our place in the world. They remind us that timekeeping is more than a science. It's an art, a way to weave together the practical, the spiritual, and the cosmic. And as we move forward, we'll uncover another layer of this intricate tapestry, a connection between timekeeping and the stars that reveals just how deeply ancient cultures were attuned to the universe around them. But for now, let's take a moment to appreciate the ingenuity of these agricultural calendars, a testament to humanity's ability to adapt, innovate, and thrive in harmony with nature. High above the bustling streets of modern-day Mexico City, the Aztec sun stone stands as a monumental testament to the spiritual depth of ancient calendars. This massive stone disc, measuring over 12 feet in diameter and weighing nearly 25 tons, is more than just a feat of engineering. It's a window into the Aztec soul. Carved with intricate symbols and radiating circles, the sun stone doesn't just track time, it tells a story. At its center is the face of Tanatea, the sun god, surrounded by symbols representing the 4 previous eras of creation. For the Aztecs, time wasn't linear, it was a sacred cycle of birth, destruction, and rebirth, and their calendar was a map of this eternal journey. The Aztec calendar, like many ancient systems, was a blend of practicality and spirituality. It consisted of 2 interlocking cycles, the Tonalpohualli, a sacred calendar of 260 days, and the Xiuhpohualli, a solar calendar of 365 days. The Tonalpohualli was used for religious ceremonies and divination, guiding the Aztecs in their spiritual lives, while the Xiuhpohualli structured their agricultural and civic activities. Together, these cycles created a harmonious balance between the earthly and the divine, reflecting the Aztec belief that time was a cosmic force to be honored and understood. What's striking about the sun stone is how it embodies this worldview. Each symbol, each ring is imbued with meaning. The 4 squares surrounding Tanatia represent the previous suns or eras, each destroyed by a different cataclysm: wind, jaguars, fire, and water. The outer rings are filled with symbols representing the days of the Aztec month, as well as celestial motifs like stars and serpents. This intricate design wasn't just decorative, it was a spiritual guide, a way to navigate the rhythms of the universe and connect with the gods. For the Aztecs, the calendar wasn't just a tool, it was a bridge between the mundane and the sacred. This spiritual dimension wasn't unique to the Aztecs. Across the ancient world, calendars served as more than just timekeeping devices. They were expressions of a culture's deepest beliefs. The Maya saw time as a series of cycles, each governed by different gods. The Egyptians tied their calendar to the flooding of the Nile, which they believed was a divine act. Even the Greeks, with their scientific approach to astronomy, saw the movements of the stars as reflections of the gods' will. In each case, the calendar was a way to understand not just the passage of time, but humanity's place within the cosmos. The Aztec sun stone reminds us that ancient calendars were more than just practical tools. They were spiritual maps, guiding people through the cycles of life, death, and renewal. They reflect a worldview where time was sacred, a force to be revered rather than simply measured. As we look at these ancient systems, we're reminded of the profound connection between timekeeping and spirituality, a connection that shaped entire civilizations. But while ancient calendars were deeply tied to the spiritual, they also laid the groundwork for the way we measure time today. From the Gregorian calendar to modern astronomical calculations, the echoes of these ancient systems can still be heard. In our next chapter, we'll explore how the wisdom of the past continues to influence the way we understand and experience time. But for now, let's pause and reflect on the Aztec sun stone, a symbol of humanity's enduring quest to find meaning in the cycles of the cosmos. The ways we measure time today, our clocks, watches, and digital calendars, are deeply rooted in the innovations of ancient civilizations. From the Babylonian ziggurats to the Mayan temples, these early cultures didn't just track days and seasons. They laid the groundwork for the systems we rely on in the modern world. Take the Gregorian calendar, for example. This system, widely used across the globe, owes much of its structure to the meticulous observations of ancient astronomers and mathematicians. But how did we get here? And what can we learn from the cultures that first mapped the rhythms of the cosmos? The Babylonians, one of the earliest civilizations to formalize timekeeping, developed a calendar based on the cycles of the moon. Their 12-month lunar calendar, divided into 29 or 30-day months, was a groundbreaking achievement. To reconcile the lunar year with the solar year, they introduced leap months, an innovation that foreshadowed our modern leap years. The Babylonians also gave us the concept of the 7-day week, a system that persists to this day. Their influence is so profound that even the names of our weekdays, like Sunday and Monday, trace back to their celestial observations. The Egyptians, on the other hand, took a different approach. Their calendar, tied to the annual flooding of the Nile, was primarily solar-based. With 365 days divided into 12 months of 30 days each, plus 5 extra days, their system was remarkably accurate for its time. This solar calendar became the foundation for the Julian calendar, introduced by Julius Caesar in 45 BCE, and later the Gregorian calendar, which we use today. The Egyptians' ability to align their calendar with the rhythms of nature not only ensured agricultural success, but also influenced how future civilizations would measure time. Meanwhile, The Maya developed one of the most sophisticated timekeeping systems in history. Their long count calendar, with its intricate cycles and precise astronomical calculations, allowed them to predict celestial events with astonishing accuracy. While the long count itself isn't used today, its mathematical principles, like the concept of zero, revolutionized our understanding of numbers and time. The Maya's ability to blend science, spirituality, and practicality shows just how deeply they understood the interconnectedness of all things. These ancient systems didn't just fade into obscurity, they evolved, merging and adapting over centuries to become the calendars we use today. The Gregorian calendar, refined in the 16th century to correct inaccuracies in the Julian system, is a direct descendant of these early innovations. Yet, even as we've standardized timekeeping, echoes of the past remain. In some parts of the world, traditional calendars are still in use, preserving the wisdom of ancient cultures. For example, the Hebrew calendar, which combines lunar and solar cycles, continues to guide religious observances, while the Chinese lunar calendar shapes festivals like the Lunar New Year. What's remarkable about these ancient systems is not just their precision but their enduring relevance. They remind us that timekeeping is more than a practical necessity. It's a way to connect with the natural world, to honor the rhythms of life, and to find meaning in the passage of time. As we look to the future, we're reminded that the past still has much to teach us. The legacy of ancient calendars is not just in the dates they marked, but in the wisdom they imparted, a wisdom that continues to shape our lives today. And as we reflect on these enduring systems, we'll turn our attention to a fascinating question. How do some ancient timekeeping methods still function in the modern world? From traditional farming practices to cultural celebrations, these systems remain alive, bridging the gap between the past and the present, but more on that soon. In a world dominated by digital clocks and universal calendars, it might come as a surprise that some ancient timekeeping systems are still very much alive, guiding the lives of millions. Take the Hindu Panchang, for example. This intricate calendar, deeply rooted in Vedic traditions, isn't just a relic of the past. It's a living, breathing system that continues to shape daily life, religious practices, and cultural celebrations across India and beyond. The Panchang, which translates to 5 limbs, incorporates lunar phases, solar movements, and astrological calculations to create a holistic view of time. It's used to determine auspicious dates for weddings, festivals, and even the start of new ventures, blending the practical with the spiritual in a way that feels timeless. What makes the Panchang so enduring is its adaptability. While it's based on ancient principles, it's updated annually to reflect celestial changes, ensuring it remains accurate and relevant. This dynamic nature allows it to coexist seamlessly with the Gregorian calendar, offering a dual perspective on time that enriches rather than conflicts with modern life. For Hindus, the Panchang isn't just a tool, it's a bridge to the divine, a way to align personal actions with cosmic rhythms. Festivals like Diwali and Holi are celebrated according to its calculations, connecting generations to a shared cultural heritage that spans thousands of years. Similarly, the Jewish lunar calendar remains a cornerstone of Jewish life, guiding religious observances and community traditions. This calendar, which dates back to biblical times, is based on the cycles of the moon, with months beginning at the new moon and lasting either 29 or 30 days. To keep it aligned with the solar year, an extra month is added 7 times every 19 years, a system known as the Metonic cycle. This adjustment ensures that holidays like Passover and Rosh Hashanah always fall in their appropriate seasons, preserving the agricultural and spiritual significance tied to their origins. The Jewish calendar's resilience lies in its ability to balance tradition with practicality. While modern Jews may use the Gregorian calendar for everyday tasks, the lunar calendar remains central to religious life. It's a reminder of the covenant between the Jewish people and their faith, a way to mark time that's deeply personal and communal. The rhythms of the lunar calendar, its festivals, fasts, and Sabbaths, create a sense of continuity, linking contemporary life to ancient traditions in a way that feels both sacred and familiar. These living calendars are more than just timekeeping tools, they're cultural treasures, preserving the wisdom and values of the past while adapting to the needs of the present. They remind us that time isn't just a series of numbers on a clock. It's a tapestry woven from history, spirituality, and human experience. As we marvel at their enduring relevance, we're left to wonder, what other ancient systems of timekeeping still shape our world today? And speaking of systems that have stood the test of time, our next journey takes us to the heart of ancient astronomical observatories, places where the skies were mapped, the stars were studied, and the mysteries of the cosmos were unlocked. These observatories weren't just buildings, they were gateways to understanding the universe itself, but more on that soon. Rising from the plains of Salisbury in England, Stonehenge stands as one of the most iconic and mysterious ancient observatories in the world. This massive ring of standing stones, erected over 4,000 years ago, has long fascinated scholars and visitors alike. But what was its purpose? While theories range from religious rituals to burial sites, one of the most compelling explanations is its role as a celestial calendar. The alignment of the stones corresponds with the movements of the sun, particularly during the solstices. During the summer solstice, the sun rises directly over the heel stone, casting a beam of light into the heart of the monument. This precise alignment suggests that Stonehenge wasn't just a place of worship, it was a tool for marking the passage of time, a way to connect the rhythms of the earth with the cycles of the heavens. Far across the Atlantic, in the jungles of the Yucatan Peninsula, lies another marvel of ancient astronomy, the Temple of Kukulkan at Chichen Itza. This pyramid, built by the Maya, is a masterpiece of precision and symbolism. During the spring and autumn equinoxes, the setting sun casts a shadow along the steps of the pyramid, creating the illusion of a serpent slithering down the structure. This phenomenon, known as the descent of Kukulkan, wasn't just a stunning visual effect, it was a carefully calculated event designed to mark the changing of seasons. The Maya, like the builders of Stonehenge, understood that timekeeping wasn't just about counting days. It was about understanding the cosmos and humanity's place within it. High in the Andes Mountains, the Inca city of Machu Picchu offers yet another example of ancient ingenuity. This sprawling complex, perched on a mountain ridge, was more than just a royal retreat. It was a center of astronomical observation. The Intihuatana stone, a carved rock at the heart of the site, served as a solar clock. During the solstices, the sun would align perfectly with the stone, casting no shadow. For the Inca, this moment was sacred, a time to honor Inti, the sun god, and reaffirm their connection to the natural world. The precision of Machu Picchu's design, from its terraces to its temples, reflects a deep understanding of celestial patterns and their impact on agriculture, religion, and daily life. What's striking about these observatories is not just their architectural brilliance, but the knowledge required to build them. Without modern tools or technology, ancient engineers and astronomers achieved a level of precision that still astounds us today. They studied the skies, mapped the stars, and used their observations to create monuments that stood the test of time literally. These structures weren't just buildings, they were living calendars designed to track the rhythms of the cosmos and guide the lives of those who built them. But while these observatories are well known, there are other, more enigmatic artifacts that may have served a similar purpose. From the mysterious stone circles of Africa to the cave paintings of Europe, ancient peoples left behind clues that suggest timekeeping was a universal pursuit, one that transcended cultures and continents. As we delve deeper into these lesser-known relics, we'll uncover how even the simplest objects could hold profound secrets about humanity's relationship with time. But for now, let's marvel at the ingenuity of Stonehenge, Chichen Itza, and Machu Picchu, monuments that remind us of the enduring power of curiosity and the timeless quest to understand the universe. In the bustling streets of modern Baghdad, amidst the remnants of ancient Mesopotamia, archaeologists uncovered an object that continues to spark debate and fascination: the Baghdad Battery. This unassuming clay jar, roughly the size of a vase, dates back to the Parthian period, around 200 BC to 200 CE. Inside, a copper cylinder and an iron rod were found, separated by a bitumen stopper. When filled with an acidic substance like vinegar or lemon juice, the jar could produce a small electric current. But what was this object used for? Was it a primitive battery, a tool for electroplating, or perhaps even a device tied to ancient timekeeping? The mystery of the Baghdad Battery invites us to reconsider what we know about the technological capabilities of ancient civilizations. The most widely accepted theory is that the Baghdad Battery was used for electroplating, a process where a metal coating is applied to another surface using an electric current. Ancient artisans might have used this device to gild jewelry or decorate objects with thin layers of gold or silver. If true, this would suggest a level of technological sophistication far beyond what historians once believed possible for its time. However, there's no direct evidence to confirm this use, leaving room for alternative interpretations. Some researchers propose that the jar could have been part of a larger system for measuring time, perhaps used in conjunction with water clocks or other devices. The idea of an ancient battery being tied to timekeeping is speculative, but it raises intriguing questions about how far ancient societies might have gone in their pursuit of precision and innovation. What makes the Baghdad Battery so compelling is not just its potential function, but what it represents: the possibility that ancient peoples were experimenting with electricity long before we thought possible. While the artifact itself might not have been a groundbreaking invention, it hints at a culture of curiosity and experimentation, one that sought to harness the natural world in ways we're only beginning to understand. Whether it was used for practical purposes like electroplating or more esoteric applications tied to timekeeping, the Baghdad Battery challenges us to rethink the boundaries of ancient technology. As we ponder the mysteries of this enigmatic artifact, we're reminded that ancient innovations often emerged from a deep connection to the elements. Water, for example, played a central role in how many civilizations measured time. From the intricate water clocks of ancient Greece to the flowing channels of the Persian Qanats, water was more than just a resource. It was a tool for understanding the rhythms of life. And as we turn our attention to these ancient systems, we'll discover how the simple act of measuring water's flow could unlock profound insights into the passage of time. But more on that soon. Imagine a world without clocks, where the rising and setting sun were the only indicators of time. For ancient civilizations, tracking the hours required ingenuity, and one of their most remarkable innovations was the water clock. Known as clepsydry in Greek, these devices used the steady flow of water to measure time with surprising accuracy. From the bustling markets of Athens to the imperial courts of China, water clocks were more than just tools. They were marvels of engineering that shaped daily life, governance, and even astronomy. The earliest known water clocks date back to ancient Egypt around 1600 BCE. These early devices were simple but effective. A container filled with water would slowly drain through a small hole, and markings on the inside indicated the passage of time. Over time, water clocks became more sophisticated. The Greeks, for instance, developed complex designs that could account for the changing flow rate as the water level dropped. Some even featured intricate mechanisms, like floating indicators or gears, to track hours, days, and even the phases of the moon. These clocks weren't just practical. They were symbols of human ingenuity, blending science and art in ways that still inspire awe. In China, water clocks reached new heights of complexity. During the Tang Dynasty, the astronomer and engineer Yi Xing created a massive water-powered clock that not only told time but also predicted celestial events. This towering device, known as the heavenly clockwork, used a series of water wheels, gears, and levers to simulate the movements of the sun, moon, and stars. It was a testament to the Chinese belief that timekeeping was inseparable from the rhythms of the cosmos. For them, a clock wasn't just a machine, it was a reflection of the universe itself. What makes water clocks so fascinating is their universal appeal. From Egypt to Greece to China, cultures across the globe independently developed similar devices, each tailored to their unique needs and philosophies. In Egypt, water clocks were used to regulate religious rituals and ensure fairness in legal proceedings. In Greece, they timed speeches in the assembly, ensuring no speaker dominated the debate. And in China, they served as tools for both governance and celestial observation, linking the earthly and the divine. The precision of these ancient water clocks is particularly striking. Some were accurate to within minutes, a feat made even more impressive by the lack of modern technology. This accuracy wasn't just a matter of convenience, it was essential for tasks like navigation, agriculture, and astronomy. By measuring time with such precision, ancient societies could predict seasonal changes, track celestial events, and plan their lives with a level of foresight that seems almost modern. Water clocks also reveal something profound about how ancient civilizations viewed time. For them, time wasn't just a linear progression, it was a rhythm, a flow, much like the water that powered their clocks. This connection to natural phenomena didn't stop with water. From sundials to lunar calendars, ancient timekeeping methods were deeply tied to the world around them, reflecting a worldview where humanity and nature were inextricably linked. As we marvel at these ancient innovations, we're reminded that timekeeping is more than just a practical skill, it's a way of understanding our place in the universe. And as we turn our attention to another ancient method of measuring time, one that relies on the very earth beneath our feet, we'll see how this connection to nature shaped yet another remarkable system. But more on that soon. Long before the precision of modern clocks, ancient cultures looked to the night sky for guidance, finding in the moon a reliable marker of time's passage. Lunar calendars, based on the moon's phases, were among the earliest and most enduring systems of timekeeping. From the Babylonians to the Chinese, these calendars shaped everything from agriculture to religious rituals, offering a rhythm that connected humanity to the cosmos. But how did these systems work, and why, despite their simplicity, did they pose such profound challenges? The Babylonians, masters of astronomy, were among the first to formalize a lunar calendar. Their system divided the year into 12 lunar months, each beginning with the sighting of the new moon. This method was remarkably accurate, but it had one major drawback: the lunar year, which lasts about 354 days, doesn't align with the solar year of roughly 365 days. To reconcile this discrepancy, the Babylonians introduced an ingenious solution: intercalary months. Every few years, they added an extra month to keep their calendar in sync with the seasons. This innovation wasn't just practical, it was a testament to their deep understanding of celestial mechanics and their commitment to harmonizing human life with the natural world. In ancient China, the lunar calendar played an equally vital role. Known as the agricultural calendar, it guided farmers in planting and harvesting crops, its phases dictating the rhythms of rural life. But the Chinese lunar calendar was more than just a tool for agriculture. It was intertwined with spiritual and cultural practices. Festivals like the Mid-Autumn Festival and Lunar New Year were timed to specific lunar phases, creating moments of celebration and reflection that resonated across generations. The moon, with its cycles of waxing and waning, became a symbol of renewal and continuity, a celestial mirror reflecting the ebb and flow of life itself. Despite their elegance, lunar calendars weren't without challenges. The most significant was the difficulty of reconciling lunar and solar cycles. While the moon's phases provided a clear and consistent measure of time, its shorter cycle meant that lunar calendars drifted out of alignment with the seasons over time. This misalignment posed practical problems, especially for agricultural societies that relied on precise timing for planting and harvesting. To address this, many cultures developed hybrid systems, blending lunar and solar elements to create calendars that were both accurate and meaningful. The enduring legacy of lunar calendars lies not just in their practicality, but in their symbolism. For ancient peoples, the moon wasn't just a timekeeper, it was a celestial guide, a source of light in the darkness, and a reminder of life's cyclical nature. Its phases mirrored the cycles of birth, death, and rebirth, offering a framework for understanding the world and our place within it. Even today, lunar calendars continue to shape cultural and religious practices, from the Islamic Hijri calendar to the traditional celebrations of East Asia. As we reflect on the mysteries of lunar timekeeping, we're reminded of its profound connection to the rhythms of nature. But the moon wasn't the only celestial body that guided ancient societies. The sun, with its predictable path across the sky, offered another way to measure time, one that would lead to the creation of some of the most iconic structures in human history. And as we turn our gaze to the solstices and equinoxes, we'll discover how these celestial events became cornerstones of ancient timekeeping, but more on that soon. For ancient cultures, the solstices and equinoxes weren't just astronomical events, they were moments of profound significance, marking the turning points of the year and shaping the rhythms of life. These celestial milestones, defined by the sun's position in the sky, were more than markers of time. They were woven into the fabric of agriculture, religion, and daily life. From the towering stones of Stonehenge to the sacred peaks of Machu Picchu, ancient peoples developed remarkable ways to observe and celebrate these pivotal moments, creating a tapestry of traditions that still resonate today. Take Stonehenge, for example. This iconic monument, with its massive stones arranged in precise alignments, has long been associated with the solstices. During the summer solstice, the rising sun aligns perfectly with the heel stone, casting its light into the heart of the circle. For the builders of Stonehenge, this alignment wasn't just a spectacle, it was a sacred event, marking the longest day of the year and signaling the start of the harvest season. Similarly, the winter solstice, when the sun reaches its lowest point in the sky, was a time of reflection and renewal, a moment to honor the return of light and warmth. These alignments suggest that Stonehenge wasn't just a place of worship, it was a sophisticated astronomical observatory designed to connect the community with the cycles of the cosmos. In the Andes, the Inca civilization also placed immense importance on the solstices. At Machu Picchu, the Intihuatana stone, a carved rock at the heart of the site, served as a solar clock. During the solstices, the sun aligns with the stone in such a way that it casts no shadow, a phenomenon that was deeply symbolic for the Inca. They believed the Intihuatana, often called the hitching post of the sun, literally tied the sun to the earth, ensuring its return each year. These moments were celebrated with grand ceremonies, as the Inca honored their sun god, Inti, and reaffirmed their connection to the natural world. For them, the solstices weren't just about marking time, they were about maintaining cosmic harmony. Equinoxes, too, held great significance. At Chichen Itza, the Pyramid of Kukulkan serves as a stunning example of how ancient cultures celebrated these events. During the spring and autumn equinoxes, the setting sun casts a shadow along the pyramid steps, creating the illusion of a serpent slithering down the structure. This phenomenon, known as the descent of Kukulkan, was a carefully calculated event, designed to coincide with the moments when day and night are of equal length. For the Maya, the equinoxes were times of balance and renewal, moments to honor the gods and ensure the continuation of life cycles. These ancient observatories reveal something profound about how our ancestors viewed time. For them, the solstices and equinoxes weren't abstract concepts, they were tangible markers of the seasons, guiding agricultural practices, religious rituals, and communal celebrations. By aligning their monuments with these celestial events, ancient peoples demonstrated a deep understanding of the natural world and humanity's place within it. But while these grand structures are well known, there are other, more enigmatic artifacts that may have served a similar purpose. From carved stones to intricate carvings, these objects hint at a broader tradition of celestial observation, one that extended beyond monumental architecture. These artifacts suggest that ancient cultures may have developed tools to predict celestial events, blending science and spirituality in ways we're only beginning to understand. And as we explore these smaller, yet equally fascinating, relics, we'll uncover how even the simplest objects could hold profound insights into humanity's quest to understand the cosmos. But more on that soon. Among the treasures of ancient Europe, few artifacts are as captivating or as mysterious as the Nazca Disc. Discovered in 1999 near the town of Nebra in Germany, this bronze disc, roughly the size of a dinner plate, is adorned with gold symbols representing the sun, moon, and stars. Dating back to around 1600 BCE, it's considered one of the oldest known depictions of the cosmos, offering a glimpse into how Bronze Age societies viewed the heavens. But what exactly was its purpose? Was it an astronomical tool, a religious object, or something else entirely? The Nazca Disc invites us to explore the intersection of science, spirituality, and timekeeping in the ancient world. The disc's design is strikingly sophisticated. The gold inlays depict a crescent moon, a full moon or sun, and a cluster of stars, which some scholars believe represents the Pleiades constellation. Surrounding these symbols are two golden arcs along the edges, thought to represent the horizon, and a third arc at the bottom, often interpreted as a solar barge, a mythological vessel believed to carry the sun across the sky. Together, These elements suggest a deep understanding of celestial patterns and their connection to time. Some researchers argue that the disk was used as a kind of astronomical calculator, helping ancient peoples track the solstices and equinoxes, while others see it as a sacred object used in rituals to honor the gods of the sky. The Nebra sky disk's origins are just as intriguing as its design. Found buried alongside swords, axes, and other artifacts, it's believed to have been part of a hoard, possibly a ceremonial offering or a cache of valuable items. Its discovery sparked intense debate among archaeologists, with some questioning its authenticity. However, extensive analysis has confirmed its age, making it a rare and precious window into Bronze Age Europe. The disk's precise craftsmanship and symbolic imagery reveal a culture that not only observed the heavens, but also sought to capture their mysteries in tangible form. What makes the Nebra sky disk particularly fascinating is the way it blends practicality and spirituality. For the people who created it, the sky wasn't just a backdrop for celestial events. It was a living, breathing entity, filled with gods and spirits who controlled the rhythms of life. The disk may have served as a tool for tracking time, but it also likely held deep religious significance, acting as a bridge between the earthly and the divine. This dual purpose reflects a world where science and spirituality were inseparable, each informing the other in surprising and profound ways. As we ponder the mysteries of the Nebra sky disk, we're reminded that ancient cultures often turned to the heavens not just to measure time, but to make sense of their place in the universe. But the stars and planets weren't the only way they sought to explain the passage of time. Across the globe, from the myths of Greece to the legends of the Maya, ancient peoples wove stories about time itself, personifying it as gods, heroes, and cosmic forces. These myths weren't just tales, they were frameworks for understanding the world, offering insights into how our ancestors grappled with the mysteries of existence. And as we explore these stories, we'll uncover how mythology shaped the way ancient cultures perceived and interacted with time itself, but more on that soon. In the myths and legends of ancient cultures, time was never just a linear progression. It was a force of nature, personified by gods, heroes, and cosmic beings. For the Greeks, the passage of time was tied to the Titans, primordial deities who ruled before the Olympians. Cronus, the Titan of time, devoured his own children to prevent them from overthrowing him, a chilling metaphor for how time consumes all things. Yet, even Cronus was eventually dethroned by his son Zeus, symbolizing the cyclical nature of power and the inevitability of change. These stories weren't just entertainment, they were frameworks for understanding the rhythms of existence, offering a way to grapple with the mysteries of birth, death, and renewal. In Hindu tradition, time is depicted through the concept of yugas, vast cosmic cycles that span millions of years. Each yuga represents a different era, from the golden age of Satya Yuga, a time of truth and harmony, to the dark age of Kali Yuga, marked by strife and decline. These cycles aren't just historical, they are eternal, repeating endlessly in a cosmic dance of creation and destruction. The idea of cyclical time, so central to Hindu cosmology, reflects a worldview where nothing is truly lost. Instead, everything is part of an ongoing process of transformation. This perspective offers a profound sense of continuity, connecting the individual to the infinite. The Norse, too, had their own vision of time, one steeped in inevitability and grandeur. Their myths spoke of Ragnarok, a cataclysmic event where the world would end in fire and ice, only to be reborn anew. This cycle of destruction and renewal mirrored the changing seasons, a reminder that even in the face of chaos, life finds a way to begin again. For the Norse, time wasn't a straight line, it was a spiral, with each turn bringing both endings and beginnings. These mythological frameworks weren't just abstract ideas, they were deeply woven into the fabric of daily life. Temples, rituals, and even artifacts were often designed to reflect these cosmic cycles. The Mayan pyramids, for instance, aligned with celestial events to mark the passage of time, while Hindu temples were built to represent the universe in miniature, their architecture mirroring the cycles of creation and destruction. These structures weren't just places of worship, they were physical manifestations of mythological truths, designed to connect the earthly with the divine. But what about the smaller, more personal artifacts? Could they, too, encode these myths? Some scholars believe that objects like the Nazca Disc or the Phaistos Disc may have served as more than just tools for timekeeping. They might have been conduits for storytelling, their symbols and designs preserving the myths and beliefs of their creators. These artifacts, with their intricate patterns and celestial imagery, could have been used to teach, to inspire, or even to predict the future, blending science and spirituality in ways that still resonate today. As we explore these ancient myths and the artifacts that may have encoded them, we're reminded of the power of storytelling. Through their legends, ancient cultures sought to explain the mysteries of time, offering insights that still captivate us today. And as we turn our attention to the symbols and motifs found in these artifacts, we'll uncover how they served as more than just decorations. They were a language, a way to communicate the profound truths of the cosmos. But that's a story for another chapter. In the quest to unravel the mysteries of ancient timekeeping, few artifacts have been as groundbreaking as the Rosetta Stone. Discovered in 1799 by French soldiers during Napoleon's campaign in Egypt, this unassuming slab of black basalt became the key to unlocking the secrets of an entire civilization. Inscribed with the same text in 3 scripts, ancient Greek, Demotic, and Egyptian hieroglyphs, the Rosetta Stone provided scholars with the first reliable means of deciphering hieroglyphs, a script that had been lost to time for over 1,000 years. But its significance goes far beyond language. It opened a window into how ancient cultures measured and understood time. The hieroglyphs on the Rosetta Stone, once decoded, revealed not just political decrees but also insights into the Egyptian calendar. The ancient Egyptians were meticulous timekeepers, their calendar deeply intertwined with the cycles of the Nile and the movements of the stars. By understanding their language, scholars could piece together how they tracked the annual flooding of the Nile, a critical event that dictated the agricultural rhythm of their society. The Rosetta Stone didn't just translate words, it translated an entire worldview, one where time was measured not just in days and years, but in the rhythms of nature and the heavens. This breakthrough didn't stop with Egypt. The Rosetta Stone's success inspired scholars to tackle other ancient scripts, from Mesopotamian cuneiform to Mayan glyphs. Each new decipherment brought with it a deeper understanding of how these cultures viewed time. For instance, the Mayan Long Count Calendar, with its intricate cycles and precise astronomical calculations, became fully comprehensible once their glyphs were decoded. This revealed a civilization that saw time as a series of repeating patterns, a cosmic dance that connected the earthly to the divine. Without the Rosetta Stone, much of this knowledge might have remained locked away, a tantalizing mystery just out of reach. But the Rosetta Stone's legacy isn't just about the past, it's about the tools it gave us to explore it. By cracking the code of ancient languages, we've gained access to calendars, astronomical records, and rituals that reveal how these cultures marked the passage of time. These insights have not only enriched our understanding of history, but also highlighted the universal human desire to make sense of time, whether through the cycles of the Nile, the movements of the stars, or the rituals of daily life. As we reflect on the Rosetta Stone's monumental impact, it's impossible not to wonder what other secrets might still be hidden in the texts and artifacts of ancient civilizations. Each new discovery offers a glimpse into how our ancestors sought to understand the cosmos, often blending science, spirituality, and symbolism in ways that still resonate today. And as we turn our attention to the role of astrology in ancient timekeeping, we'll see how the stars themselves became a guide, shaping calendars, rituals, and even the very fabric of society. But more on that soon. For ancient civilizations, the stars were more than just points of light in the night sky. They were guides, messengers, and even divine beings. Astrology, the study of celestial objects' influence on human affairs, played a central role in shaping how these cultures understood and measured time. From the Babylonian Zodiac to the intricate star maps of ancient China, astrology wasn't just a belief system, it was a science that connected the heavens to the rhythms of daily life. And as we explore how astrology influenced ancient calendars, we'll uncover a fascinating intersection of astronomy, spirituality, and timekeeping. The Babylonians, often hailed as the fathers of astrology, were among the first to formalize the Zodiac, a system that divided the sky into 12 equal parts, each associated with a constellation. This division wasn't arbitrary. It was based on their meticulous observations of the sun's path across the sky over the course of a year. Each zodiac sign corresponded to a specific month, creating a celestial calendar that not only tracked time, but also offered insights into human destiny. For the Babylonians, the positions of the stars and planets at the time of a person's birth could reveal their character and future, a belief that laid the foundation for modern astrology. Their calendar, deeply tied to these celestial cycles, became a tool for both practical timekeeping and spiritual guidance. In ancient China, astrology took on a slightly different form, but its connection to timekeeping was just as profound. The Chinese zodiac, with its 12 animal signs, is perhaps the most well-known example. However, their astrological system went far beyond these familiar symbols. Chinese astronomers created detailed star maps, mapping the heavens with remarkable precision. These maps weren't just decorative, they were practical tools used to predict celestial events like eclipses and comets, which were believed to carry important omens. The Chinese calendar, a complex blend of lunar and solar cycles, was deeply influenced by these astrological observations. Key festivals and agricultural activities were timed to align with specific celestial events, ensuring harmony between human actions and the rhythms of the cosmos. What's striking about these ancient systems is how seamlessly they blended science and spirituality. For the Babylonians and the Chinese, the stars weren't just objects to be studied, they were active participants in human life, shaping everything from personal fortunes to the fate of empires. This belief wasn't unique to these cultures. Across the ancient world, from Egypt to Greece to the Maya, astrology was a cornerstone of timekeeping. Temples were aligned with celestial bodies, rituals were timed to planetary movements, and rulers often consulted astrologers before making major decisions. The heavens, it seemed, held the key to understanding both time and destiny, but astrology's influence didn't stop at calendars and rituals. Some scholars believe that certain ancient artifacts, like the Nebra sky disk or the Dendera zodiac, may have served as astrological tools. These objects, with their intricate celestial symbols, could have been used to predict planetary alignments, track the movements of the stars, or even guide important ceremonies. The Nebra sky disk, for example, with its depiction of the Pleiades constellation, might have helped ancient peoples time agricultural activities or religious festivals. Similarly, the Dendera zodiac, with its detailed star map, could have been used to navigate the complexities of ancient Egyptian astrology, linking the rhythms of the heavens to the lives of those below. This blending of astrology and timekeeping reveals something profound about how ancient cultures viewed the universe. For them, the stars weren't distant and untouchable. They were a living, breathing part of the world, influencing everything from the tides to the seasons to the fate of individuals. By studying the heavens, these cultures sought to align themselves with the rhythms of the cosmos, creating calendars that were as much about understanding their place in the universe as they were about marking the passage of time. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of ancient timekeeping, we'll explore how these astrological traditions evolved over time, shaping the way we measure and understand time today. But for now, let's take a moment to marvel at the ingenuity of these ancient systems, which saw the stars not just as lights in the sky, but as guides to a deeper understanding of life itself. High on the walls of the Temple of Hathor in Dendera, Egypt, the Dendera zodiac stands as a breathtaking testament to the ancient world's mastery of the cosmos. This circular bas-relief, carved over 2,000 years ago, is more than just a map of the stars. It's a window into how the Egyptians merged astronomy, astrology, and spirituality into a single, cohesive system. The zodiac's intricate symbols, depicting constellations, planets, and celestial motifs, reveal a culture that saw the heavens not as distant and unknowable, but as a living, breathing entity intimately connected to life on Earth. But what exactly was the Dendera zodiac used for, and how did it shape the rituals and beliefs of ancient Egypt? At its core, the Dendera zodiac was a tool for understanding the rhythms of the cosmos. The Egyptians believed that the movements of the stars and planets directly influenced the world below, and the zodiac served as a guide to interpreting these celestial patterns. By studying the positions of the constellations, priests and astronomers could predict significant events like solstices, equinoxes, and eclipses. These predictions weren't just academic exercises, they were crucial for timing religious festivals, agricultural activities, and even royal coronations. The zodiac's alignment with the temple's architecture suggests it was also used in rituals, perhaps as a focal point for ceremonies that sought to align earthly actions with the divine will of the gods. The zodiac's astrological significance is particularly fascinating. Each constellation depicted on the disk carries symbolic meaning, reflecting the Egyptians' belief in the interconnectedness of the cosmos and human destiny. For example, the figure of Taurus, the bull, represents fertility and strength, while Leo, the lion, symbolizes power and royalty. These symbols weren't just decorative. They were believed to influence the lives of those born under their signs, shaping their personalities and fates. This blending of astronomy and astrology highlights a world where science and spirituality were inseparable, each informing the other in profound and meaningful ways. But the Dendera zodiac wasn't just about prediction and prophecy. It also served as a reminder of the cyclical nature of time. The Egyptians saw time not as a straight line, but as a series of repeating patterns, mirroring the eternal cycles of the sun, moon, and stars. This perspective is reflected in the zodiac's circular design, which emphasizes the endless renewal of life and the cosmos. For the Egyptians, the zodiac wasn't just a map of the heavens, It was a guide to navigating the complexities of existence, a tool for aligning human life with the rhythms of the universe. As we marvel at the Dendera Zodiac's beauty and complexity, we're reminded of the enduring power of ancient artifacts to connect us with the past. These objects, whether they're star maps, stone circles, or intricate mechanisms, offer glimpses into how our ancestors understood the world. They challenge us to rethink our assumptions about history, science, and spirituality, revealing a depth of knowledge and ingenuity that continues to inspire awe. And as we turn our attention to the role of ancient artifacts in modern archaeology, we'll explore how these relics are not just windows into the past, they are keys to unlocking the mysteries of our shared human story. From cutting-edge technology to innovative research methods, the study of ancient artifacts is revealing new insights into how our ancestors lived, thought, and dreamed. But more on that soon. In the world of archaeology, the past is no longer confined to dusty relics and faded inscriptions. Thanks to cutting-edge technology, ancient artifacts and calendars are coming to life in ways that would have been unimaginable just a few decades ago. Tools like 3D scanning, artificial intelligence, and advanced imaging techniques are revolutionizing how we study and interpret these objects, offering new insights into the cultures that created them. For instance, 3D scanning has allowed researchers to create highly detailed digital models of artifacts like the Antikythera Mechanism, enabling them to examine its intricate gears and mechanisms without risking damage to the original. This technology doesn't just preserve history, it unlocks new layers of understanding, revealing details invisible to the naked eye. Artificial intelligence is another game changer, particularly when it comes to deciphering ancient scripts and symbols. Take the Voynich Manuscript, for example. This cryptic text, long considered indecipherable, has been subjected to AI analysis, which has identified patterns in its language and structure that may one day lead to a breakthrough. Similarly, AI is being used to analyze the Phaistos Disc, comparing its symbols to known scripts in an effort to crack its code. These tools aren't replacing human expertise, they're enhancing it, offering new ways to approach puzzles that have stumped scholars for centuries. Recent discoveries have also shed light on ancient calendars, thanks to modern technology. In 2019, researchers used LiDAR, a laser-based imaging technique, to uncover hidden structures in the jungles of Guatemala, revealing a network of Mayan cities connected by roads and canals. These findings have deepened our understanding of how the Maya organized their society and tracked time, showing how their calendar system was intertwined with urban planning and agriculture. Similarly, advances in radiocarbon dating have allowed archaeologists to pinpoint the ages of artifacts with unprecedented accuracy, refining our timelines and challenging long-held assumptions about ancient civilizations. Yet for all the progress we've made, some mysteries remain stubbornly unsolved. The Nazca Disc, with its enigmatic symbols, continues to defy complete interpretation, as does the Phaistos Disc. Even with modern tools, these artifacts remind us that the past is full of secrets, some of which may never be fully revealed, but rather than being a source of frustration, these mysteries are a testament to the creativity and complexity of ancient cultures. They challenge us to keep exploring, to keep questioning, and to keep pushing the boundaries of what we know. As we stand on the cusp of even greater technological advancements, it's clear that the study of ancient artifacts and calendars is far from over. Each new discovery, each breakthrough in technology, brings us closer to understanding the people who came before us. And yet, the allure of the unknown remains, inviting us to delve deeper into the past and uncover the stories still waiting to be told. As much as we've uncovered about ancient calendars, there are still mysteries that defy explanation, questions that linger like shadows in the corners of history. Take the Phaistos Disc, for instance. This enigmatic artifact, covered in spirals of stamped symbols, remains undeciphered despite over a century of study. Is it a calendar, a ritual object, or something entirely different? Theories abound, but the truth remains tantalizingly out of reach. The same holds true for the Voynich Manuscript, a medieval text filled with strange illustrations and an unknown script. Its purpose, be it an herbal guide, an astrological chart, or an elaborate hoax, continues to elude even the brightest minds. These enduring enigmas remind us that, for all our progress, the past still holds secrets we've yet to unravel. What is it about these unsolved mysteries that keeps us so captivated? Perhaps it's the thrill of the unknown, the possibility that one breakthrough could rewrite our understanding of history. Or maybe it's the way these artifacts challenge our assumptions, forcing us to reconsider what we thought we knew about ancient cultures. The Phaistos Disc, with its unique symbols, doesn't fit neatly into what we know about Minoan Crete, hinting at lost knowledge or even connections to distant civilizations. Similarly, the Voynich Manuscript, with its bizarre imagery and cryptic text, suggests a level of sophistication, or perhaps eccentricity, that we're still struggling to comprehend. These artifacts aren't just puzzles, they're windows into the complexity of human creativity and ingenuity, but the allure of these mysteries goes deeper than curiosity. They remind us that history isn't a static narrative but an ongoing conversation, one that evolves as we uncover new clues and develop new tools. Every unanswered question is an invitation to keep exploring, to keep questioning, and to keep pushing the boundaries of what we know. And while we may never fully solve the riddles of the Phaistos Disc or the Voynich Manuscript, the journey to understand them is just as important as the destination. As we ponder these unsolved mysteries, we're reminded of the broader impact of ancient timekeeping on human culture. These calendars and artifacts weren't just tools for measuring days and years. They were expressions of how people saw their place in the cosmos. They shaped everything from agriculture to religion, from governance to art. And in the next chapter of our journey, we'll explore how these ancient systems continue to influence our world today, from the way we mark time to the stories we tell about ourselves. The past, it seems, is never truly past. It's woven into the fabric of our lives, shaping who we are and who we might become, but more on that soon. The influence of ancient calendars extends far beyond the practicalities of tracking time. It permeated every aspect of culture, from art and literature to religion and governance. These systems weren't just tools, they were frameworks for understanding the world, shaping how ancient societies expressed their creativity, spirituality, and identity. Take the Mayan codices, for example. These intricate manuscripts, painted on bark paper, are filled with hieroglyphs and illustrations that depict everything from astronomical calculations to religious rituals. The Dresden Codex, one of the most famous surviving examples, contains detailed tables for predicting lunar eclipses and the movements of Venus, blending science and art in a way that reveals the Mayas' profound connection to the cosmos. These codices weren't just records, they were works of art, testaments to a culture that saw beauty and meaning in the rhythms of time. In ancient Egypt, calendars were woven into the very fabric of their visual culture. Tomb paintings and temple reliefs often feature celestial motifs, with gods and goddesses depicted alongside stars, moons, and suns. The Egyptians believed that time was a divine gift, governed by deities like Ra, the sun god, and Thoth, the god of wisdom and timekeeping. In the tomb of Seti I, for instance, the ceiling is adorned with a stunning astronomical map, illustrating the constellations and their movements. This blending of art and astronomy wasn't just decorative, it was a way to honor the gods and ensure the deceased's safe passage into the afterlife. The calendar, for the Egyptians, was more than a system of measurement. It was a sacred narrative, a story of life, death, and rebirth that played out in the heavens. Religion, too, was deeply intertwined with ancient calendars. Festivals, rituals, and ceremonies were often timed to coincide with specific celestial events, creating a rhythm that connected the earthly and the divine. In ancient Greece, the Olympic Games were held every 4 years in alignment with the Olympiad, a calendar cycle tied to the movements of the moon. This synchronization wasn't just practical, it was symbolic, linking athletic achievement to the rhythms of the cosmos. Similarly, the Hindu festival of Diwali is celebrated according to the lunar calendar, marking the return of light and the triumph of good over evil. These traditions reveal how calendars served as bridges between the mundane and the sacred, shaping the spiritual lives of entire civilizations. What's remarkable is how accurate some of these ancient systems were. The Mayan Long Count Calendar, for instance, could predict celestial events with astonishing precision, while the Egyptian solar calendar was so reliable that it remained in use for thousands of years. These achievements weren't just technical feats, they were reflections of a worldview that saw time as a sacred, cyclical force. By aligning their lives with the rhythms of the cosmos, ancient peoples created a harmony between humanity and nature that still resonates today. As we explore the cultural impact of these ancient calendars, we're reminded of their enduring legacy. They weren't just ways of marking time, they were expressions of human creativity, spirituality, and ingenuity. And as we turn our attention to the surprising accuracy of these systems, we'll uncover how they laid the groundwork for the way we measure time today. From the precision of Mayan astronomy to the enduring influence of Egyptian cosmology, these ancient calendars continue to shape our understanding of the world, offering timeless lessons about the interplay between science, art, and the divine. What if I told you that some of the most precise timekeeping systems in human history were created thousands of years before the invention of modern clocks? Ancient civilizations, from the Maya to the Chinese, developed calendars so accurate that they rival, and in some cases, surpass the precision of our contemporary systems. Take the Mayan Long Count Calendar, for example. This intricate system, with its nested cycles of days, years, and even millennia, wasn't just a way to track time, it was a mathematical masterpiece. The Maya could predict solar eclipses with astonishing accuracy, aligning their rituals and agricultural practices with celestial events that modern astronomers still marvel at. Their understanding of the cosmos was so advanced that their calendar remains one of the most accurate ever created, even by today's standards. The Chinese lunar calendar is another testament to ancient ingenuity. While many lunar calendars struggle to stay in sync with the solar year, the Chinese system incorporated intercalary months to keep the two aligned. This innovation allowed them to maintain a precise balance between lunar phases and seasonal changes, ensuring that festivals, planting schedules, and religious ceremonies were perfectly timed. The calendar's accuracy wasn't just practical, it was deeply symbolic, reflecting the Chinese belief in the harmony between heaven and earth. Even today, the Chinese lunar calendar continues to guide cultural celebrations like the Lunar New Year, proving that ancient wisdom can still resonate in the modern world. But how did these ancient societies achieve such precision without the tools we take for granted? The answer lies in their meticulous observation of the natural world. The Maya, for instance, spent centuries studying the movements of the sun, moon, and planets, recording their findings in detailed codices. The Chinese, meanwhile, developed sophisticated star maps and used water clocks to measure time with remarkable accuracy. These achievements weren't just the result of trial and error, they were the product of a deep, almost reverent connection to the cosmos. For these cultures, timekeeping wasn't just a science, it was a way of life, a means of aligning human existence with the rhythms of the universe. What's truly remarkable is how these ancient systems continue to influence us today. The Gregorian calendar, the most widely used system in the world, owes much of its structure to the innovations of the Egyptians and Babylonians. Even our leap years, designed to keep our calendar in sync with the solar year, echo the intercalary months of the Chinese lunar system. These ancient calendars remind us that timekeeping isn't just about counting days, it's about understanding our place in the cosmos and finding meaning in the passage of time. As we marvel at the precision of these ancient systems, it's impossible not to wonder, what other lessons can we learn from the past? The artifacts left behind by these civilizations, from the Antikythera Mechanism to the Dendera Zodiac, are more than just relics. They're windows into a world where science, spirituality, and art were deeply intertwined. And as we turn our attention to the role of these artifacts in modern culture, we'll uncover how they continue to inspire, challenge, and connect us to the wisdom of our ancestors. But that's a story for the next chapter of our journey. The allure of ancient artifacts and calendars isn't confined to history books or museum displays, it permeates modern culture, sparking creativity and imagination in ways that bridge the past and present. From blockbuster films to best-selling novels, these relics of bygone eras have become symbols of mystery, adventure, and the timeless quest for knowledge. Take Indiana Jones, for example. This iconic character, with his fedora and whip, has captivated audiences for decades, embodying the thrill of uncovering ancient secrets. The films, filled with cryptic artifacts and forgotten calendars, tap into our collective fascination with the unknown, reminding us that the past is never truly buried. Similarly, movies like National Treasure weave intricate plots around historical artifacts, blending fact and fiction to create stories that feel both thrilling and plausible. These narratives don't just entertain, they inspire viewers to explore history for themselves, sparking curiosity about the real-life mysteries behind the legends. But it's not just Hollywood that draws inspiration from ancient timekeeping systems. Literature, too, has embraced the enigmatic beauty of these artifacts. Authors like Dan Brown have built entire careers around stories that hinge on ancient codes and calendars, weaving intricate tales where the past holds the key to solving modern-day puzzles. Books like the Da Vinci Code and The Lost Symbol explore the intersection of history, science, and spirituality, inviting readers to ponder the deeper meanings behind ancient symbols and systems. These works remind us that the past is a treasure trove of stories, waiting to be rediscovered and retold. Even the art world has been shaped by the influence of ancient calendars and artifacts. Contemporary artists often draw on the symbolism and aesthetics of these relics, creating works that resonate with modern audiences while paying homage to the past. For instance, the intricate patterns of Mayan glyphs or the celestial motifs of the Dendera Zodiac have inspired everything from abstract paintings to large-scale installations. These artworks don't just replicate ancient designs, they reinterpret them, blending old and new to create something uniquely expressive. In doing so, they remind us that the past is a living, breathing part of our cultural fabric, constantly evolving and inspiring. What's fascinating is how these ancient systems are being rediscovered and reimagined in ways that go beyond art and entertainment. Some modern researchers and enthusiasts are turning to ancient timekeeping methods, not just as historical curiosities, but as potential solutions to contemporary challenges. For example, the Mayan Long Count Calendar, with its precise astronomical calculations, has inspired new approaches to tracking celestial events. Similarly, the intricate water clocks of ancient Greece and China are being studied for their potential applications in sustainable technology, offering insights into how we might harness natural resources more effectively. These rediscoveries highlight the enduring relevance of ancient knowledge, proving that the past can still teach us valuable lessons about innovation and ingenuity. As we reflect on the influence of ancient artifacts in modern culture, it's clear that these relics are more than just remnants of a bygone era. They are catalysts for creativity, curiosity, and connection. They remind us that history is not a static collection of facts, but a dynamic source of inspiration, capable of shaping how we see the world and ourselves. And as we turn our attention to the ways ancient timekeeping methods are being rediscovered and applied today, we'll uncover how the wisdom of the past continues to guide us into the future. But that's a story for the next chapter of our journey. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of ancient timekeeping, a fascinating trend emerges. Modern researchers aren't just studying these systems, they are reviving them. Across the globe, scientists, historians, and even engineers are turning to the past for inspiration, uncovering ways these ancient methods can inform and improve our modern lives. Take, for instance, the water clocks of ancient Greece and China. Once used to measure time with remarkable precision, these devices are now being reimagined as models for sustainable technology. By studying how ancient cultures harnessed the flow of water, researchers are developing innovative systems for measuring time and managing resources in eco-friendly ways. This isn't just a nod to history, it's a practical application of ancient wisdom in a world increasingly focused on sustainability. But the revival of ancient timekeeping goes beyond technology. In fields like agriculture and urban planning, the cyclical calendars of the Maya and the Chinese are offering fresh insights. The Maya's Long Count Calendar, with its intricate cycles and celestial predictions, is inspiring new approaches to tracking seasonal changes and optimizing crop yields. Similarly, the Chinese lunar calendar, with its emphasis on harmony between human activity and natural rhythms, is being used to guide sustainable farming practices and even urban development. These ancient systems, once seen as relics of the past, are proving to be surprisingly relevant in addressing contemporary challenges. Even in the realm of astronomy, ancient methods are making a comeback. The precise astronomical calculations of the Maya and the Babylonians are being revisited by modern astronomers, offering new perspectives on celestial events. For example, the Maya's ability to predict solar eclipses with such accuracy has sparked interest in how their observational techniques could complement modern methods. By blending ancient knowledge with cutting-edge technology, researchers are gaining a more holistic understanding of the cosmos, one that honors the ingenuity of our ancestors while pushing the boundaries of modern science. What's truly remarkable about this revival is how it bridges the gap between past and present. These ancient timekeeping systems weren't just tools. They were expressions of a worldview that saw humanity as deeply connected to the natural world. By rediscovering and adapting these methods, we're not just solving practical problems, we're reconnecting with a perspective that values harmony, balance, and sustainability. It's a reminder that the past holds more than just historical curiosities. It offers timeless lessons that can guide us into the future. As we marvel at the resurgence of these ancient systems, it's impossible not to wonder what other secrets might lie hidden in the artifacts left behind by these civilizations. From cryptic calendars to celestial maps, these relics are more than just historical artifacts, they're keys to understanding how our ancestors saw the world. And as we turn our attention to the role of these objects in shaping our understanding of history, we'll uncover how they continue to inspire, challenge, and connect us to the wisdom of the past. But that's a story for the next chapter of our journey. Ancient artifacts and calendars don't just tell us about the past, they challenge the very way we think about history. Take the Antikythera Mechanism, for instance. This ancient Greek device, with its intricate gears and celestial calculations, was once dismissed as too advanced for its time. Yet, its discovery forced historians to reconsider what they thought they knew about ancient technology. The Nazca Disc, too, appended assumptions about Bronze Age Europe. Its celestial imagery suggests a level of astronomical knowledge that was previously thought impossible for that era. These artifacts aren't just curiosities, they're reminders that history is often more complex, more surprising, and more interconnected than traditional narratives suggest. What's fascinating is how these discoveries shift our understanding of ancient societies. For centuries, the story of human progress has been told as a linear march forward, with each civilization building on the achievements of the last. But artifacts like the Antikythera Mechanism and the Nazca Disc tell a different story, one of bursts of innovation, lost knowledge, and unexpected connections. They hint at a world where ideas and technologies traveled further and faster than we imagined, where ancient peoples achieved feats that still leave us in awe. These artifacts don't just fill gaps in the historical record, they rewrite it, revealing a past that's far more dynamic and interconnected than we once believed. But it's not just technology that these artifacts challenge, it's the way we think about time itself. Many ancient calendars weren't just tools for tracking days and seasons, they were deeply tied to the natural world, including phenomena like natural disasters. For example, some researchers believe that the Mayan Long Count Calendar may have been influenced by catastrophic events, such as volcanic eruptions or droughts. By aligning their calendar with these events, the Maya could predict and prepare for future disasters, turning timekeeping into a tool for survival. This connection between calendars and natural disasters reveals a profound truth. For ancient peoples, time wasn't just an abstract concept, it was a force of nature, one that shaped every aspect of their lives. Even more intriguing is how these ancient systems might inform our modern world. As we face increasing threats from climate change and natural disasters, the idea of using timekeeping to predict and prepare for these events feels strikingly relevant. The Maya, with their intricate cycles and celestial observations, may have been onto something. By studying their methods, we might find new ways to harness the rhythms of nature, blending ancient wisdom with modern science to create a more sustainable future. What's clear is that ancient artifacts and calendars are more than just windows into the past, they are mirrors, reflecting our own challenges and aspirations. They remind us that history isn't a static collection of facts, but a living, breathing conversation that evolves as we uncover new clues and ask new questions. And as we turn our attention to how these ancient systems might help us navigate the challenges of today, we'll see that the past isn't just something to be studied, it's something to be learned from, a source of wisdom that can guide us into the future. When we think of calendars, we often imagine them as tools for marking days or planning events, but for ancient civilizations, they were far more than that. They were lifelines, essential for predicting and navigating the unpredictable forces of nature. Take the Egyptians, for instance. Their calendar wasn't just a way to track time, it was a survival tool, intricately tied to the annual flooding of the Nile. Every year, the river would swell, bringing nutrient-rich silt to the fields and ensuring bountiful harvests, but the Nile's floods were also unpredictable. Too much water could devastate crops, while too little could lead to famine. To manage this, the Egyptians developed a calendar that aligned with the river's cycles, dividing the year into 3 seasons: Akhit, the flood season; Perit, the growing season; and Shemu, the harvest season. By tracking the Nile's behavior over centuries, they could anticipate floods and plan accordingly, turning a potential disaster into a source of abundance. This connection between timekeeping and natural disasters wasn't unique to Egypt. In ancient China, the lunar calendar played a similar role, helping farmers predict seasonal changes and prepare for extreme weather. The Chinese developed a system of solar terms, dividing the year into 24 segments, each marking a specific phase in the agricultural cycle. Terms like Great Cold and Grain Rain signaled when to plant, irrigate, or harvest, ensuring that communities were ready for whatever the seasons might bring. For these cultures, calendars weren't just about tracking time, they were about understanding the rhythms of nature and finding ways to adapt to its challenges. Even more fascinating is how some ancient societies used celestial events to predict disasters. The Maya, for example, were renowned for their ability to predict eclipses, which they believed were omens of great change or upheaval. By meticulously tracking the movements of the sun, moon, and planets, they could anticipate these events and prepare their communities for potential crises. Similarly, the Babylonians used their knowledge of the stars to predict floods, aligning their agricultural practices with the cycles of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. These ancient systems reveal a profound truth. Timekeeping wasn't just about marking days, it was about understanding the forces that shaped life itself. What's striking is how these ancient methods resonate with modern challenges. As we face increasing threats from climate change and natural disasters, the idea of using timekeeping to predict and prepare for these events feels more relevant than ever. The Egyptians' ability to harness the Nile's floods, or the Maya's skill in predicting eclipses, reminds us that the past holds valuable lessons for the present. By studying these ancient systems, we might find new ways to navigate the challenges of our own time, blending ancient wisdom with modern science to create a more sustainable future. As we reflect on the ingenuity of these ancient cultures, it's impossible not to wonder what other secrets might lie hidden in the artifacts they left behind. From celestial maps to intricate mechanisms, these relics are more than just historical curiosities, they're keys to understanding how our ancestors saw the world and adapted to its challenges. And as we turn our attention to the role of these artifacts in modern science, we'll uncover how they continue to inspire, challenge, and connect us to the wisdom of the past. But that's a story for the next chapter of our journey. In the quest to unlock the secrets of the ancient world, modern science is turning to artifacts once dismissed as mere curiosities, finding in them inspiration for groundbreaking research. Take the Baghdad Battery, for example. This unassuming clay jar, discovered in the ruins of ancient Mesopotamia, has sparked endless debate. When filled with an acidic substance, it generates a small electric current, a discovery that has led some researchers to speculate about its potential use in electroplating or even as an early form of medical therapy. While its true purpose remains uncertain, the Baghdad Battery challenges our assumptions about the technological capabilities of ancient societies, suggesting they may have been far more advanced than we once believed. Equally fascinating is the Antikythera Mechanism, a device so sophisticated it's often called the world's first analog computer. Discovered in the wreckage of an ancient Greek ship, this intricate system of bronze gears was designed to predict celestial events like eclipses and planetary movements. Modern researchers, using advanced imaging techniques like 3D scanning, have uncovered layers of complexity that rival modern astronomical tools. The Antikythera Mechanism isn't just a relic, it's a window into a world where science and craftsmanship intersected in ways that still leave us in awe. Its discovery has even inspired new approaches to mechanical engineering, with some modern designers looking to its intricate gears for insights into creating more efficient and compact machines. But while some ancient artifacts are revealing their secrets, others remain shrouded in mystery. The Nazca Disc, for instance, continues to defy complete interpretation. This Bronze Age artifact, adorned with celestial symbols, is believed to have been used as an astronomical tool or religious object, yet, despite decades of study, its full meaning remains elusive. Similarly, the Phaistos Disc, with its spirals of stamped symbols, has resisted all attempts at decipherment. These enigmatic objects remind us that the past holds puzzles we're still struggling to solve, inviting us to keep exploring and questioning. What's remarkable is how these ancient artifacts are shaping modern science. The precision of the Antikythera Mechanism has inspired new methods for tracking celestial events, while the Baghdad Battery has sparked interest in early forms of electricity generation. Even the Nazca Disc, with its celestial imagery, is influencing how we think about ancient astronomy and its role in society. These artifacts aren't just historical relics, they're catalysts for innovation, offering fresh perspectives on how we understand the world. Yet, for all our progress, some ancient timekeeping methods remain a mystery. How did the Maya predict eclipses with such accuracy? What was the true purpose of the Phaistos Disc? These questions remind us that the past is a vast, uncharted territory, full of secrets waiting to be uncovered. As we continue to study these artifacts, we're not just learning about ancient civilizations, we're discovering new ways to approach the challenges of our own time. And in that journey, the past becomes not just a source of knowledge, but a guide to the future. As we turn our attention to these unsolved mysteries, we'll explore how ancient timekeeping methods might hold the key to understanding some of history's greatest enigmas. But that's a story for the next chapter of our journey. One of the most enduring questions in the study of ancient calendars is why, after centuries of research, so many mysteries remain unsolved. Take the Voynich Manuscript, for instance. This cryptic text, filled with unknown symbols and bizarre illustrations, has resisted all attempts at decipherment. Is it an encoded herbal guide, an astronomical chart, or perhaps something entirely different? Despite the best efforts of cryptographers, linguists, and AI algorithms, its secrets remain locked away, a tantalizing puzzle that continues to elude even the brightest minds. Similarly, the Phaistos Disc, with its spirals of stamped symbols, defies interpretation, Unlike the Rosetta Stone, which provided a key to understanding Egyptian hieroglyphs, the Phaistos Disc offers no such clues. Its unique script, found nowhere else in Minoan culture, has left researchers speculating about its purpose. Was it a calendar, a ritual object, or even a form of proto-writing? The absence of answers only deepens the intrigue, drawing us into a world of questions where every theory leads to more questions. What is it about these artifacts that keeps us so captivated? Perhaps it's the thrill of the unknown, the possibility that one breakthrough could rewrite our understanding of history. Or maybe it's the way these objects challenge our assumptions, forcing us to reconsider what we thought we knew about ancient cultures. The Nazca Disc, with its celestial symbols, doesn't fit neatly into what we know about Bronze Age Europe, hinting at lost knowledge or even connections to distant civilizations. Similarly, the Voynich Manuscript, with its bizarre imagery and cryptic text, suggests a level of sophistication, or perhaps eccentricity, that we're still struggling to comprehend. These artifacts aren't just puzzles, they're windows into the complexity of human creativity and ingenuity. Yet, the allure of these mysteries goes deeper than curiosity. They remind us that history isn't a static narrative but an ongoing conversation, one that evolves as we uncover new clues and develop new tools. Every unanswered question is an invitation to keep exploring, to keep questioning, and to keep pushing the boundaries of what we know. While we may never fully solve the riddles of the Phaistos Disc or the Voynich Manuscript, the journey to understand them is just as important as the destination. These artifacts challenge us to think differently, to approach history not as a series of facts, but as a living, breathing story that continues to unfold. As we stand on the edge of these enduring mysteries, it's impossible not to wonder what the future holds for the study of ancient artifacts. With advancements in technology and new methods of analysis, the answers we seek may be closer than we think. But that's a story for the next chapter of our journey, where we'll explore how cutting-edge research is reshaping our understanding of the past and opening doors to discoveries we can't yet imagine. As we stand on the brink of a new era in archaeology, the tools we use to explore the past are evolving at an astonishing pace. Emerging technologies like artificial intelligence and quantum computing are no longer confined to the realm of science fiction. They're becoming invaluable allies in the quest to decode ancient artifacts and calendars. Imagine a future where AI algorithms can sift through thousands of ancient texts in seconds, identifying patterns and connections that would take human researchers years to uncover. This isn't just a dream, it's already happening. Projects like the AI-driven analysis of the Voynich Manuscript are pushing the boundaries of what's possible, offering tantalizing glimpses of breakthroughs that could rewrite our understanding of history. Quantum computing, with its unparalleled processing power, holds even greater promise. For centuries, the Phaistos Disc has remained one of archaeology's most stubborn mysteries, its spirals of symbols defying all attempts at decipherment. But what if a quantum computer could analyze every possible combination of those symbols in a fraction of the time it would take a traditional computer? The potential is staggering. By harnessing these cutting-edge technologies, we could unlock the secrets of artifacts that have baffled scholars for generations, from the cryptic inscriptions on the Nazca Disc to the celestial calculations embedded in the Antikythera Mechanism. These tools aren't just revolutionizing how we study the past, they're redefining what we thought was possible. Yet, as exciting as these advancements are, they're not just about solving ancient puzzles. They're about understanding the wisdom embedded in these timekeeping systems and how it might apply to our modern world, ancient calendars weren't just tools for tracking days and seasons, they were reflections of a worldview that saw humanity as deeply connected to the natural world. The Maya, for example, didn't just predict eclipses, they used their knowledge to align their lives with the rhythms of the cosmos. Similarly, the Egyptians' calendar was intricately tied to the flooding of the Nile, a natural event that shaped their entire civilization. These systems remind us that timekeeping isn't just about measuring time, it's about finding harmony with the world around us. In a time when climate change and environmental challenges are reshaping our planet, these ancient lessons feel more relevant than ever. Could the cyclical calendars of the Maya inspire new approaches to sustainable agriculture? Might the precision of Egyptian astronomy offer insights into predicting natural disasters? The answers to these questions lie not just in the artifacts themselves, but in the way we choose to interpret and apply their wisdom. By blending ancient knowledge with modern technology, we're not just uncovering the past, we're creating a bridge to a more sustainable future. As we look ahead, it's clear that the study of ancient artifacts and calendars is far from over. With every new discovery, every breakthrough in technology, we're peeling back another layer of history, revealing a past that's richer and more interconnected than we ever imagined. But the journey doesn't end with the artifacts themselves. It's about what we learn from them and how we use that knowledge to navigate the challenges of our own time. The past, it seems, is still very much alive, offering lessons that could shape the way we live, think, and dream for generations to come. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, our calendars packed with meetings, deadlines, and endless notifications, it's easy to forget that timekeeping wasn't always about productivity. For ancient civilizations, time was a rhythm, a dance between the earth and the cosmos, deeply tied to the natural world and the spiritual realm. Their calendars weren't just tools for tracking days, they were guides for living in harmony with the environment and understanding humanity's place within the universe. And perhaps in their wisdom, there are lessons we can carry into our own fast-paced, often disconnected world. One of the most striking aspects of ancient timekeeping is its focus on sustainability. Take the Egyptians, for instance. Their calendar revolved around the annual flooding of the Nile, an event that dictated the success of their crops and the survival of their civilization. By aligning their lives with the river's rhythms, they created a system that was both practical and sustainable, ensuring that their agricultural practices worked in tandem with nature rather than against it. In a world grappling with climate change and environmental degradation, this ancient approach offers a powerful reminder of the importance of living in sync with the natural world. Could we, too, benefit from rethinking how we measure and use time, not just as a resource to be managed, but as a rhythm to be respected? Ancient calendars also remind us of the deep connection between time and spirituality. For the Maya, time wasn't linear. It was cyclical, a series of repeating patterns that mirrored the eternal dance of the cosmos. Their long count calendar wasn't just a way to predict celestial events. It was a framework for understanding the sacred cycles of creation, destruction, and renewal. This perspective invites us to reconsider how we view time in our own lives. In a culture obsessed with efficiency and speed, the idea of time as a sacred, cyclical force offers a refreshing counterbalance, encouraging us to slow down, reflect, and find meaning in the rhythms of life. But it's not just about sustainability and spirituality. Ancient timekeeping systems also highlight the value of precision and ingenuity. The Antikythera Mechanism, with its intricate gears and celestial calculations, is a testament to the creativity and technical skill of the ancient Greeks. It challenges the notion that innovation is a purely modern phenomenon, reminding us that human ingenuity has always found ways to push the boundaries of what's possible. In a world driven by technology, this ancient device inspires us to think creatively about how we solve problems and design systems that stand the test of time. The lesson here isn't just about adopting ancient methods, it's about embracing the mindset behind them. Ancient calendars teach us to see time not as a commodity to be spent, but as a force to be understood and respected. They remind us that timekeeping is more than a practical skill. It's a way of connecting with the world around us, finding balance, and discovering meaning in the passage of days. As we look to the future, these ancient systems offer a blueprint for how we might live more harmoniously, both with nature and with ourselves. And as we reflect on these timeless lessons, a broader question emerges: how do these discoveries shape our understanding of history and humanity? What do they tell us about the enduring quest to make sense of time, the cosmos, and our place within it? These are the questions we'll explore as we move into the next chapter of our journey, where we'll uncover how the study of ancient artifacts continues to reshape our view of the past and our vision for the future. What if the way we measure time today is just the tip of an iceberg, built on millennia of innovation, observation, and spiritual insight? Ancient calendars and artifacts aren't just relics of the past. They're keys to understanding how civilizations across the globe saw the world, connected with the cosmos, and made sense of their place within it. These systems, from the Mayan Long Count to the Egyptian solar calendar, reveal a universal human impulse to not just track time, but to find meaning in its rhythms. And as we piece together these ancient puzzles, we're not just learning about history, we're reshaping how we see ourselves in the grand tapestry of time. One of the most profound implications of studying ancient calendars is how they challenge our assumptions about progress. For centuries, the story of human advancement has been framed as a linear march forward, with each generation building on the achievements of the last. But artifacts like the Antikythera Mechanism and the Nazca Disc tell a different story, one of bursts of innovation, lost knowledge, and unexpected connections. These discoveries remind us that ancient peoples achieved feats of engineering and astronomy that rival, and in some cases surpass, our own. They force us to reconsider what we think we know about the past, and in doing so, open up new possibilities for the future. Beyond technology, these artifacts reveal how deeply intertwined timekeeping was with culture and spirituality. The Mayan Long Count Calendar, for instance, wasn't just a tool for predicting celestial events. It was a framework for understanding the sacred cycles of creation and destruction. The Egyptian calendar, tied to the flooding of the Nile, reflected a worldview where time was a divine gift, governed by gods and shaped by natural forces. These systems remind us that timekeeping wasn't just a practical skill, it was a way of connecting with the cosmos and finding meaning in the rhythms of life. In a world increasingly driven by efficiency and speed, these ancient insights offer a powerful counterbalance, inviting us to slow down and reflect on our relationship with time. But the significance of ancient calendars goes even further. In a globalized world, where cultures and ideas intersect more than ever, these systems remind us of the diversity and ingenuity of human thought. The Chinese lunar calendar, still guiding festivals and traditions today, coexists alongside the Gregorian calendar, blending ancient wisdom with modern life. The Hindu Panchang, with its intricate calculations and spiritual significance, continues to shape daily life for millions. These living traditions highlight the enduring relevance of ancient knowledge, offering lessons in adaptability, resilience, and the importance of preserving cultural heritage in a rapidly changing world. As we reflect on the broader implications of these ancient systems, one thing becomes clear: timekeeping is more than a science, it's an art. It's about finding harmony with the natural world, understanding our place in the cosmos, and connecting with something greater than ourselves. The lessons of the past aren't just historical curiosities. They are guides for navigating the challenges of the present and shaping a more sustainable, meaningful future. And as we bring this journey to a close, we'll explore how these ancient systems, with their blend of science, spirituality, and artistry, can inspire us to rethink our relationship with time, not just as a resource to be managed, but as a rhythm to be embraced. But that's a story for the final chapter of our exploration. As we reach the end of our journey through the cryptic artifacts and secret calendars of the ancient world, it's worth taking a moment to reflect on what we've uncovered. From the intricate gears of the Antikythera Mechanism, a marvel of ancient Greek engineering, to the celestial alignments of Stonehenge and the precise calculations of the Mayan Long Count Calendar, these ancient systems reveal a shared human desire to understand time and our place within the cosmos. Each artifact we've explored, whether it's the enigmatic Phaistos Disc or the spiritual depth of the Aztec sunstone, offers a glimpse into how our ancestors saw the world, blending science, spirituality, and artistry in ways that still captivate us today. What's striking is how these ancient systems, though separated by continents and centuries, share a common thread: the belief that time was more than just a sequence of days and years. For the Maya, time was a sacred cycle, echoing the eternal dance of creation and renewal. For the Egyptians, it was a divine gift, tied to the life-giving floods of the Nile. And for the Greeks, it was a challenge to be mastered, as seen in the Antikythera Mechanism's precise celestial predictions. These cultures didn't just measure time, they sought to harmonize with it, to align their lives with the rhythms of the natural world and the heavens above. Yet, even as we marvel at their ingenuity, we're reminded that many mysteries remain unsolved. The Voynich Manuscript, with its cryptic script and bizarre illustrations, continues to resist interpretation. The Nazca Disc, adorned with celestial symbols, hints at a level of astronomical knowledge that defies our assumptions about Bronze Age Europe. These enigmas remind us that the past is not a static collection of facts, but a living, breathing puzzle, inviting us to keep exploring, questioning, and discovering. These ancient systems also hold profound lessons for our modern world. In a time when climate change and environmental challenges loom large, the sustainable practices of the Egyptians and the cyclical wisdom of the Maya offer fresh perspectives on how we might live in harmony with nature. The precision of ancient timekeeping, from the water clocks of Greece to the star maps of China, reminds us that innovation isn't a modern invention. It's a timeless human trait, one that continues to inspire us to push the boundaries of what's possible. As the philosopher Carl Sagan once said, "Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known." The artifacts and calendars we've explored today are a testament to that enduring curiosity, that relentless drive to uncover the secrets of the universe. They remind us that history is not just about the past. It's about the stories we tell, the questions we ask, and the connections we make between the world of our ancestors and the world we're building today. If this journey through the mysteries of ancient timekeeping has sparked your curiosity, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What artifact or calendar fascinated you the most? What questions do you still have about these ancient systems? Share your ideas in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into history's greatest enigmas. Together, let's keep exploring the incredible stories waiting to be uncovered in the annals of time.